No, it's not. That's what you think. That's what you think.
Thanks very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. So, thank you for your hospitality. An interesting event for me because I've never really done anything like this before. I've done things in theatre. I've been in pantomimes and I've won at plays and stage.
He's behind you.
And this is a little different because I have a direct byline with all of them. Never mind, let's continue. First, I'd like to tell you a little bit about myself. I'm a northern lad, born in Dorset in Derbyshire in 1956. We moved down here when the family moved down. My mother got a job here at Mount Pleasant People's Home, where she became finally the officer in charge. So the whole family moved down here around 30 years ago. And as I say, now I hope I'm classed as a local. I hope I am.
No chance. I've been down here 55 years and
Still not.
I'm still not a local.
I've had various jobs. I've been a cinema projectionist, I've been a shop worker, I've been a film extra in a couple of films made down here in Dorset. I've been a hotel porter in two of the biggest hotels in Buxton, the Palace Hotel, you might know of that, and the St Anne's that doesn't exist anymore. I was part of a team that cleared Weymouth Fort when they were first thinking of opening it. There was a job creation project where employed people who were given the task of going in there with buckets and picks and axes and shovels and clearing all the rooms out, which we did. I've been involved in a lot of stuff that happened in Weymouth. I was a member of the Crow's Nest Theatre Company that was in the Weymouth Pavilion in 1992, where we put on 3 shows in a year on 0 budgets. We were all unemployed people and given the chance to write a show, and we were told that we would have to write the show, get all the props, and be in it as well. And none of us were actors, so that was a bit of a challenge. As I say, we did 3 shows. I wrote the second show called Back to the Front, which was based on war year memories that entertainers and people, and we got a standing ovation for the 2 shows we put on, and took a smaller version of that around to residential homes. I was also on the first team that created the neighbourhood news for the Dorset Echo under the leadership of Teresa Newton, who was the editor of the page at that time. I also wrote for the Western Gazette in Yeovil, both with 35mm and digital press photographs. So I've had a fairly varied time of it. I've had poetry published in 6 anthologies over the years. I was also a member of the Acting Caledonians in Radipole and appeared in 2 pantomimes and a number of one-act plays. So, oh, by the way, I love Weymouth. I discovered podcasting and created the Zzipp podcast some time ago, and went on to create Zzipp TV on YouTube and a free mobile app where everybody got what I do on YouTube and my podcasts and my social networks all on the cell phone, free. The world of podcasting has taken me to some extraordinarily amazing places over the years. I was interviewed over Skype by a friend of mine, Douglas Welsh, in Los Angeles, and you can find that interview still on YouTube if you search for interview with Peter Lithgow. That's still there. And I also read a part in an audio production created by Douglas of A Christmas Carol by Charles Dickens. And that was, I think there were about 15 United States podcasters and myself. We all had little sections to read, and it's gone done really well. And when I was in Los Angeles recently, I actually met Douglas and his wife in Universal Studios. I created audio promos for a podcast called The Weird Show from Canada, and they were all used. On my videos on YouTube and on my podcasts, I've interviewed many local authors, bands, artists and more, and they are available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year for free, no charge. As I say, I created a mobile app to showcase my reading as well, and that is also free, no charge. I recently had a website created by sell@beluti.com in Weymouth, where you can access everything that I do. So if you'd like to have a look at that, just come to me after we talk, and I'll give you contact cards, business cards, so you can have a look at that. That's totally free as well. During the past few months, I've sold a number of my local photographs through Pinterest. I've always been an avid photographer since I was about 6. Used all kinds of cameras, from 120, I don't know whether probably anybody remembers 120, through disc cameras, through cartridge loaded cameras, through instant picture cameras, 35mm cameras, now onto my digital Nikon, which I love. And it's mostly photographs of Weymouth, because it is so photogenic, if you know how to look. Right, Steve.
Absolutely, Peter.
On the social networks, by that I mean things like Facebook, MySpace, LinkedIn, Twitter, SocialCam. I'm on 8 or 9 separate ones, and I have over 10,500 people worldwide who know about what I do, know about Weymouth as well. So basically I'm promoting Weymouth for free, and doing it in a way that's immediate, that people like Weymouth Council, people like that aren't doing. People, see, the thing with the podcast is people ask to get more stuff. They go to a podcast and they say, yes, we want to listen to it. So each time a new episode comes out, they get it for free. They don't have to go back to a website and see what's on there. You don't have to keep telling them to go back. So, moving forward in 2015, I enter new challenges. Projects I'm looking at in the near future. Working with a team to create a local internet TV station for Dorset. Content by local people for a local and worldwide audience, which will be totally free to access. I'd like to write a book. Also, I'm working with a group of friends creating a new concept in ghost hunting reality TV. So that's something that I can't talk about at the moment, but it should be interesting the way we've got it planned. I'm always thinking of new ideas and concepts to use my skills to the full. I am the only podcaster in Dorset, I believe, unless you know anything different, with a free video YouTube channel, a free smartphone app, Instagram and SocialCam, and who runs 9 separate social networks from Dorset. Also, something I did a couple of months ago, I created voice characters for a local band called the Zzipp Band. They wrote 2 concept albums and they wanted 2 characters. So I created the voice characters for those. One of the ones that was fairly interesting, when I was in Los Angeles on holiday, one of the members of the Zzipp Band contacted me and said, we need a French voice for an album. I said, okay, what do you want me to say? So they sent me the text of what they wanted me to say. I recorded it on my iPad and sent the sound file back to them in England from LA, and they said, yeah, wonderful, fine, great, and they included it in an album. So I can legitimately say I have an LA recording studio. Even though it's only the iPad, it still works. I also admin a Facebook tribute page to a local friend of mine who sadly passed away now. He's a local character, musician, painter, Trevor Lawrence. I don't know whether any of you know Trevor Lawrence, but he was a good friend and a real character. I remember with Trevor, he always said to me, I was in Doctor Who, you know, with John Pertwee. So I was in the local coffee shop, Nero's, which was one of his favourite bars. And I had my iPad with me and I went onto YouTube and I actually found the scene that he was in. And he was amazed. He didn't think he could do that. And he went around the coffee shop saying, look, that's me! That's me! He told me a story once that he had to fake a fight with John Pertwee. And he said, John Pertwee almost broke my arm. He said he was, John Pertwee was, you know, very physical, very adventurous kind of bloke, but I don't think you like that John Pertwee trying to break his arm. Right, the thing with my media, there's media freedom. I haven't got an editor, I haven't got production people telling me what to do. I can say and do whatever I like. On my videos, I can interview anybody I like. On my podcasts, I can talk to anybody I like, go anywhere I like. I even did a podcast from Weymouth Carnival. All I needed was a digital audio recorder, and then when I got back home again to the studio, just edited it all together. So basically, I was talking to myself. I was in the studio saying, okay, now we go to Peter at the Weymouth Festival, so I went to me and said, thank you, hand back to the studio. It got a little confusing in the editing, but, you know. Podcasts can be about anything under the sun. If any of you have iTunes on your computers, there will be a podcast part to iTunes. Just go there and search for any subject, football, anything. And you'll find a podcast from somewhere in the world about it. And most of them you can download for free and carry with you anyway. They're not like a radio station where you tune in and listen, and if you want to go back to that program again, you can't. A podcast, you can listen to it, erase it, and then reload it if you want. Same thing. YouTube is very clever because you can subscribe to the channel. So each time I make a new video, a link will be sent to you through your email to watch the video. That's free too. Recently I did an interview with a lady at the Tudor House in Weymouth. She was in costume. It was a wonderful interview, nice interview. And I said to her, if you have a website, on YouTube you have what's called an embed code. You copy that embed code and paste it into wherever you want on your own website. That is totally free, no charge for that. So you have a video on your website explaining what the Tudor House is about. And I saw recently, she says, people ask me about what we do at the Tudor House, I just refer them to the video. People would rather watch videos these days than read anything. And they have a very short attention span, so videos are great. I'm used to watching TV. The mobile app contains everything that I do on video, on podcasts, so you can get all that I do on the cell phone for free. Also 3 or 4 of my social networks on the app for free. When I talk to people about what I do, almost the first question they ask me is, how do you make money? With the media that I do at the moment, I don't. I actually work full time. At Wilkinson's, I work nights, 1 o'clock in the morning till 8. I do this because I enjoy doing it and I believe it's worth doing. Recording, leaving a memory of things. I have a little bit of funding from affiliate links on my website and my blogs and things, from Amazon, eBay, 123.reg. I also do a value for value basis. So if you like a video that I've made, you think it's some value, you can donate however much you want through my website on PayPal. I also sell my own photographs through Pinterest and PayPal that I can do just prints or framed pictures as well. So it all goes to help. But I'm also looking for advertising and sponsors, the videos, podcasts, and the app to help pay for those things because it is getting fairly expensive now for hosting and that kind of thing. Any questions about what I've explained so far?
Can you repeat it?
And I can make it simple for you. What part of it were you interested in? The podcast and the videos?
Well, I suppose it's a bit of each, really. We're let's say, not of the same sort of age. We know that it's there, but how we make the benefit of it, we don't.
If you imagine a podcast is, as I say with radio, tune into a dial, you listen to a radio station, yeah? But you can't hear that program again. Let's say if you're a member of a local band and you had a record on that program, you couldn't hear that program again. You would have to go back to the radio station, look in their archives, which would take time, find the program, and listen to it again. Whereas with a podcast, it's easy to access any podcast. As I say, if you have iTunes on your computers, which a lot of computers do these days, or any, what they call a podcatcher. Spotify isn't really a podcatcher, it's like it carries music. Musicians can load the stuff onto Spotify. But with iTunes, it depends on something called an RSS feed, which is basically, RSS basically stands for really simple syndication. So most podcasts have a little subscribe button. You know, like you subscribe to a magazine in the old days. W.H. Smith's, you had a filing cabinet. Yeah? You subscribe to a magazine, you used to go into W.H. Smith's on a Friday, look in the filing cabinet in the little drawer there, pick out the magazine, take it to the counter and pay for it. Yeah? Podcasts are very like that because you subscribe by pressing the subscribe button and iTunes remembers that subscription. So when you say to it, are there new podcasts of that program, it goes to that podcast and looks and says, yes there is, and it downloads it to your computer for free. You can also do that on your iPhone, your iPad. It's easy.
Well, I'm at the same stage as Chris, I think. If I've got an Apple tablet, which I have,
Yeah.
and I want to listen to one of your podcasts,
Yes.
where do I start?
Turn it on, Roger.
I turn it on. And I've got lots of apps.
I can show you where to stop.
How many apps will carry your podcast? Only one?
No. Any podcatcher, but iTunes is one of the main ones.
I thought you got music through iTunes.
As well.
You can get music through iTunes and podcasts.
And podcasts.
Yes, you can.
Right. Okay.
Now Apple have made a new podcast place. I can show you right there on the pad.
YouTube, that's right.
YouTube is mainly for video. Some podcasters create an audio podcast and then put pictures and things to it, and then download that as a video.
I'm terribly suspicious of things like YouTube and so on, because I feel if I put information about myself on there, as my son and all my relatives seem to do, then I think I lose a certain amount of security.
But not on YouTube, because YouTube is mainly for videos.
Oh, I see. Right. Okay.
It's like an internet TV, basically. It's like
Master it tells us we ought to be on YouTube.
Facebook.
Brooks tells us, we must be on YouTube. But
if you wish to let people know who you are, as a group, I would create a Facebook group.
Which we have. Yes. So Facebook's different from iTunes in what it does.
YouTube and Facebook are totally different.
All right. Okay. That's learning something.
YouTube is for video.
Yeah.
Facebook is a social network, so it connects people.
I see. Right.
I think YouTube is amazing because it gives people the chance to talk about what they love to talk about. You get famous bloggers from all over the world, video people who just enjoy talking about the day. Anything is available through YouTube and podcasting. And to the large extent, it's all free. You don't have to pay a license, you don't have to pay for special equipment. It's all free.
Do you mind?
No.
Stupid question. But you say, when it says subscribe,
yes.
So you have to give your...
No.
You don't have to give any information?
No. Just press the subscribe
Press the button, and that does it?
That does it.
Well, that's interesting, yeah. Okay.
So,
podcast.
Yes.
So podcasts and YouTube are the same thing.
So podcast and blogging. Blogging is...
Blogging started, I think, as text.
Yes. Podcast is more...
Podcasting is more audio.
Yeah. So this Muslim guy that was blogging anti-Saudi Arabian stuff, I guess.
Yes. I guess it was video.
So would he have been, when it said blogging, would he have been podcasting?
He'd probably be using video. I mean, podcasting doesn't have as much impact as video.
They were whipping on the friends.
But with minimum equipment today, you can become a podcaster. In the old days, when you set up a radio station, it cost thousands and thousands of pounds. You can become a podcaster for, say, £50. That's it. The software to do it is free. You just have a headpiece with a microphone. That's it. If you get better at it, you want to do more, buy better equipment. It's easy. I can show you how to do it in 30 minutes.
You might be able to show us how to do it in 30 minutes.
Could be a challenge, but it's maintaining what you told us to do there.
I am 58.
A mere child, sir.
But if I can do it, I left school with nothing. I left school, no exams, anything. I ran away. Second one was strange. Anyway, thing is, I learned how to do it myself. I saw the potential.
Jim?
Yeah.
I've seen on Microsoft Outlook RSS feeds, and
That's
I've
right.
always wondered what will happen if I actually
All
clicked
that
on that.
is an RSS really simple syndication. It's like sending the same file to hundreds of people all
Yeah.
at the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah? If you don't want a podcast anymore, if you don't listen to my podcast anymore, it drives you crazy, then you just click unsubscribe and it goes away.
And I'll click it the next time. I can't paper on a
But if you want to go to iTunes, you want to listen to my show,
yeah.
if you want to go to iTunes, type in Zzipp, Z-Z-I-P-P, in the little search box there, and it will bring it up. You just press the subscribe button, and that's it. It will load the last show. If you want to go back in the archive, just scroll down and it's all there.
Can you tell us a little bit more about something you mentioned, which is local TV? How is that going to work? Have you taken anything? Have you taken it any further forward than when I spoke to you about this? What was it? A month or so ago now.
I had a meeting with a guy called Jason from Dorset.
Oh yes, yeah. Crichton.
He lives at in Spa Road there.
Yeah.
And we had a meeting in his garden, and I told him about my idea that I've been living with for such a long time, this idea of a community TV station online. And he went very quiet. And I said, to think about it, you could actually create a real Dorset Eye. And he went a little quieter. And then a few weeks later, I received an email from him that said, we're creating this Dorset Eye TV, do you want to be a part of it? And I went to the first meeting, and he had a lot of people there who knew what they were doing. I couldn't do it on myself because I'm not at the time, but these people were video experts, computer experts. And it was great to see the thing growing in front of my eyes that I've dreamed of for so long.
And Dorset I now have this TV.
It's in production, it's in creation now. They're just working on the categories they want. They're working with people to do the things.
Interesting.
And that's going to be for free, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And the beauty of it is, it's going to be based, I hope, on private, public access TV in the States. I don't really know what public access is. No? Let's say you're a member of a football team, and you wanted to make a little program about your football team. You could do it with the equipment you've got now, like your cell phone. Take a video with a cell phone, no problem. Edit it, I've done it so. Or anything, any video gear. You make the program and send it to the station, and we will broadcast it for you. Yeah, as part of our broadcast. If you can't do it, we will come out and help you do it. But it will be an independent voice. There will be no Dorset Echo involved, Western Gazette, local radio, local TV. It will be for the people. It will give local people a new voice.
And how would it be broadcast? Would it be online, or would it be on one of the TV channels?
Online for a start, we think. But as time goes on, more and more people are getting things like Chromecast, yeah, where it's a little device about this big. You plug into the back of the TV, and if you have a device like an Apple iPad or something like this, you can cast a video from your phone to the TV. Yeah. Also, things like satellite TV becoming cheaper to produce. So it could go from the internet to satellite, broadcast 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, with its own app, and I hope So that would be available, the program would be available on the cell phone as well.
And would there be a charge?
No. We hopefully paid for by sponsors, advertisers, and any grants we can get. So it will be free to the end user.
Or just like Air 72 radio at the moment?
Yes.
Air FM.
That cost, I believe, thousands to set up. With a podcast on YouTube, it's very cheap.
So do you, like AirFM, you would need a broadcasting licence? Do you need a broadcasting licence?
No, if you do it on the internet.
No.
And smart TVs access the internet anyway.
Yes.
Peter, the people who are involved in Dorset, are they coming out of college? Are they youngsters?
No, I think youngsters are going to get involved, but a lot of them are lecturers, teachers. We've got two media professionals involved. One's at the university in Weymouth, who's into journalism law, which is a great help, because we've got to be careful about how we cover things. Now, what people say, we don't want to be sued,
No.
but we'll take care of it. As long as we say that the views given on a TV station are not those of the TV station itself. But it will give Dorset people a new voice.
Are there any other counties doing this?
I don't believe so, no.
Any more questions?
Fascinating.
If anybody wants to know how to access things, just come and talk to me. I'm quite prepared to talk to anybody. I also have contact cards, as I say, so just have a look at the website, which is on the contact card, and it's all there too. And that's all completely free, no charge.
Right. Thank you. Peter?
Thank you.
Intriguing. Thank you very much. Do we have a vote of thanks?
Yes, we do.
Well,
Interestingly, we were both born in the same year. I was just thinking of all the changes that have happened since that year to now. I mean, when I was in Melcombe with my parents, we had the old Bakelite telephones, and then you had all the calls you had to pay for. Then it moved on to, that was black and white TV, then colour TV, and then the first mobile phones which you couldn't carry around, and then they gradually improved on them. And I don't think kids these days can even imagine not having a mobile phone.
Well, you look at, I saw a video recently about children given a VHS cassette.
Yeah.
They had no idea what it was.
No, that's right. So really, people like you and I have lived through a period of vast change, really, and we're just coming to, well, not the end of it, but we're coming to a very saturated period now, really.
A big plateau.
Yeah, and it's been very interesting talk. I mean, you've thrown an awful lot of terms at us this evening. I mean, some of us know what they are and some don't, really, but you've done so many different things. I was interested, you were saying about the Zzipp band in California.
Well, it's actually a British band.
Well, British band, you did it when you were over there.
I recorded the files for them over there, yes.
And you said it was recorded in French, did you?
No, I had to create the character I had to create was the manager of the French vineyard.
Right.
Because the album was about basically red grapes and white grapes and the conflict. It was just a reflection of racial conflict. So these grapes instead. And I was the vineyard manager.
Right.
So I had to record, they sent me a script, I had to record the sound file on the iPad, make sure it was alright, but I sent it to them from Los Angeles back to the UK.
Right.
Instantaneously. They said, sent me a message back, yeah, that's great, we'll use that, it's used on the album.
And did you have to put a French accent on when you were doing it as well?
Yes, I'm not doing it here.
We'll remember a low, so you won't be out of
I'll have to buy the album to hear it. But it was fun.
Shares a big voice.
It's very different.
Right.
It's great fun.
Yeah, that sounds good. And also the climax of it all, the local TV station, which you're hoping to get heavily involved with. So we'll all have to take your details and try to log on to that, and
But
eventually when
the
it's...
website, and I'm sure there'll be stuff on it.
Okay. Anyway, on behalf of the club, thank you very much. Very thought-provoking evening, and I'd like the whole club to thank you in the usual way.
So do you turn it off?
You'd have to say that.
You're happy for